Back in the 2000s in the United States, a financial storm fueled by greed and recklessness was quietly brewing. The real estate sales office was crowded with house-hunting people, all with bright smiles on their faces, and ultra-low mortgage rate posters were pasted on the walls, recording this bustling moment. No one noticed that the calm before the storm had long been hiding dangers under this warm and prosperous appearance. The Federal Reserve's interest rate cut documents lay quietly on the office desk, and the interest rate trend chart plummeted sharply like a straight line. This moment freezes the starting point of the crisis. This interest rate cut policy, which seemed to stimulate the economy, opened the floodgates for subsequent madness and kicked off a global financial catastrophe. In an absurd financial atmosphere, American bank clerks easily handled mortgages for people without income. Piles of zero-down payment loan contracts accumulated like a mountain, and the casual attitude of the clerks contrasted sharply with the seriousness of the loan business, completely breaking the bottom line of financial risk control and laying the hidden danger for the subsequent crisis. The schematic of ninja loans, no income, no job, no assets, is clearly presented, and the loopholes in bank approval are vividly displayed. It uses a satirical way to expose the chaos of the financial market, where the bottom line of risk control is completely lost. In American suburban residential areas, the numbers on the house price signs are rising rapidly, and the housing price index curve is soaring sharply. The scene is full of a sense of prosperity, depicting a false boom of buying a house is making money. People are immersed in the dream, but they do not know that this prosperity is just a bubble built on sand. Bankers are packaging subprime mortgages into financial securities, just like packing apples into boxes. The financial assembly line is busy, and this seemingly ingenious operation is essentially a trick to transfer and amplify risks, pushing more people into the quagmire of financial scams. Rating agencies are affixing the highest AAA credit labels to junk financial CDO products. This false rating scene reveals the collusion and greed in the financial market, completely destroying the credit system and allowing risks to spread around the world. CDS credit default swaps have become a super financial casino. Global investors are betting frantically, and piles of chips are piled up like a mountain, symbolizing the endless influx of global funds into this bottomless gamble, and the crisis is accumulating rapidly. The Federal Reserve's interest rate hike button is pressed, and the amount on the mortgage monthly payment bill soars sharply. American people look at the bill in panic and confusion, and the dream of owning a house is shattered in an instant. Despair and helplessness fill the air at this moment. American families are moving out of the properties repossessed by banks, and foreclosure notices are pasted on the doors. The desolate scene is heartbreaking. A large number of American foreclosed houses are vacant, and the housing price index curve plummets off a cliff, with a depressed atmosphere everywhere. It is the Lehman Brothers headquarters building in the United States in 2008. Bankruptcy notices are posted prominently, and Wall Street pedestrians look flustered, recording this historic moment when the financial bomb exploded. Financial dominoes are falling. The Lehman Brothers domino collapses, triggering a chain collapse of global financial dominoes, and the crisis sweeps across Wall Street in an instant. The logos of major Wall Street investment banks in the United States, such as Fannie Mae, Merrill Lynch and AIG, are shattered and collapsed one after another. This shocking financial collapse scene tells people that the once invincible financial giants are vulnerable in the face of the crisis. The electronic screens of global stock exchanges are plummeting across the board, with green downward curves covering the entire screen, and investors look desperate, witnessing the evaporation of their wealth. European and American banks are closed, the flow of financial funds is frozen, and a global panic atmosphere spreads, with no country able to stay out of it. In a depressed street view, American people are queuing up to receive unemployment benefits in 2008, and the number of street homeless is increasing, recording the misfortunes of ordinary people in the crisis. American elderly people look at the sharply reduced amount in their pension accounts, with helpless and depressed expressions, and their lifelong savings are gone in an instant. The U.S. Congress passes a $700 billion financial bailout bill, and a huge amount of U.S. dollar funds flow to banks, trying to save the crumbling financial system. Central banks around the world join hands to cut interest rates, working together to save the financial crisis, showing a scene of joint collaboration in the face of the crisis. The greedy hands of financiers are manipulating the financial gamble, while regulators are sleeping aside, ignoring their duties. This sharply points out the root of the crisis: greed, lack of supervision and unrestrained financial gambling. An investment balance is displayed. On one side is the temptation of high returns, and on the other side is the abyss of risk. Warning slogans are clearly visible, reminding people to adhere to rational investment. This is a profound revelation after the crisis, warning the world to be vigilant against the traps of high returns and cherish the healthy order of the financial market.